This is your daily reminder that you can never pamper or spoil yourself too much. You can never give yourself too much self-care, okay? Obviously, like, there are things that you can overdo. For example, if you really enjoy eating sweets or eating cake, I'm not saying eat cake until you throw up or something, because by the point that if you get to the point where you've eaten so much cake that you've thrown up, then at that point, it ceases to be of use to you, right? So it ceases to be part of the pampering. But I'm saying that up until that point, though, why not continue to pamper yourself? Why not continue to give yourself the best experience? There's no such thing as giving yourself too much self-care or too much kind treatment. Tender loving care, TLC, as we used to say back in the day. Just because you've been brainwashed for your whole life and indoctrinated into this belief system that you have to work yourself to the bone and bleed yourself dry in order to earn any type of treat or just, self-care, good treatment for yourself. I'm telling you that that's bullshit, okay? There is no such thing as an upper limit to how much you can pour into yourself. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Even if, yes, there is a point usually that you can reach with any good thing. The poison is in the dosage. That's not exactly what I was thinking of, but that also applies to this situation. Okay, so there is, quote unquote, too much of a good thing. You've heard that saying before, right? Too much of a good thing is not actually good or beneficial to you. So everyone has that point to which, like, for example, if you love going to Disneyland, you're probably going to get sick of it at some point if you keep going every single day, right? Actually, there is a real world analogy that I can make my own life with regards to that example. You can just replace the word Disneyland with Japan, right? As much as I love Japan and it was my dream to live here ever since I was 13, 14 years old, try living here every single day though, which is what I've been doing for the past 14 years.
Try being an influencer for a day. Try it.
Living here every single day for the past 14 years is different than being here for like 2 weeks or 4 weeks. So whatever that sweet spot is for you, it could be a few years too, right? And this is just like one example I'm talking about if you like to go somewhere, but you can apply it to any type of self-care, any way that you treat yourself or spoil yourself. So shopping, for example, right? I'm sure for most of us, our appetite for shopping probably far exceeds the actual funds or the actual budget that we have on hand in terms of like what's in our bank account right now. Or I don't know, I don't want to speak for you. Maybe you're a millionaire or you've inherited a lot of money or you're a trust fund baby or whatever. If you're in the position to shop endlessly or to shop to your heart's content, do that, right? But if you are not in the position to shop endlessly without repercussions in the form of a high credit card bill that you would have to worry about paying off later, that doesn't mean you need to give up the activity entirely, right? You can still do it, but just only up to the point to where you can handle it financially. Because obviously, if you go past the point that you can handle it financially, even though the actual, oh my God, Maxine. Okay. Even though, your shopping addiction itself might be getting fueled or whetted. Is that the correct word? Satisfied from an isolation perspective. Sorry, I can't concentrate. Maxine is like scratching my cupboards. But what I'm trying to say is that, okay, in an ideal world, right? If you are a shopaholic like me, maybe I shouldn't use the term addiction or shopaholism, but if you love shopping, if you're a material girl, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean that you're shallow. If that's what you truly enjoy doing, then it's fine. You don't have to like feel guilty about it. That's step one. But then step two is that you can indulge in it up until the point where you personally can handle it financially, or your sugar daddy or whoever. But let's just say you, right? You have a certain amount of disposable income that you can allocate to shopping. And so I'm telling you, just don't feel bad about it. Okay. Take away the guilt and like do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy. But the only thing is that, of course, keep in mind that whenever you do something past the point of either your actual needs being met, your actual satisfaction being met, or if it's past the point of your physical capacity to do that thing. So in the shopping example, it would be the actual amount of money that you have in your bank account. If it's either of those two scenarios, then obviously at that point it would become detrimental to you, right? So that would not be classified as self-care anymore in my definition. But what I'm saying is that as long as it still falls within the definition of self-care, you should do it up until the very tippity top upper limit, if that makes sense. And some of you kind of have to go out on a limb and discover your limit, because I have a feeling that a lot of you probably have no idea even where your upper limit is when it comes to luxury. By upper limit, I'm talking about, that tipping point where you no longer are able to extract as much value or as much satisfaction out of that activity. as you were able to in the beginning. So it's kind of like a Pareto distribution, as with many things in nature. But yeah, some of you need to go through the process to where you just pour into yourself. You need to like radically love on yourself and spoil yourself to the point where you actually can figure out what your limit, so to speak, is. Because some of you are playing so small, and that's because you're brainwashed since birth by this society to think that you need to earn every single thing that is afforded to you in this life. It's not that you have to earn everything, it's just that you have to be grateful for what you do have, however little or small it is. But being grateful for what you currently have does not directly contradict to wanting more and more for yourself. That's my PSA for today. With that being said, I'm kind of in a dilemma right now, and I need your opinion on what I should do this weekend. I'm about to grab this child. Okay, you know what? Clearly she wants to say hi, so I'm gonna bring her over here. Clearly. You just want to be part of the conversation, huh, Maxine? Watch, she's gonna start screaming now because she is a contrarian. Oh, Maxine, are you having fun? No, she's gonna start like complaining at some point. See? See? You have to pay your cuddle tax. Okay. Say bye, Maxine. Don't be such a grump. I'm so grumpy. Maxine is part of my self-care and my self-pampering as well, because it's always been a wish list item of mine, or like it's always been an integral part of the life that I imagined for myself as a child, to have a pet with me, to have my own little furry baby.